In 1898, something terrifying happened in East Africa. A railway construction camp in Tsavo, Kenya, was suddenly turned into a hunting ground. But the hunters were not humans. They were two lions, and they didn't just attack people, they started eating them. The story takes place during the construction of the Uganda Railway. Hundreds of workers were building a bridge across the Tsavo River. Everything was normal at first, until something began dragging workers out of their tents at night. At first, people thought it was accidents, maybe animals, maybe something small. But then they realized the truth. They were being hunted. At night, the camp was silent. No fire could fully protect the workers. And then, without any sound, a man would disappear from his tent. Only dragged footprints were left behind. No body, no warning, just silence. The workers started building fences, lighting huge fires, and sleeping in groups. But nothing worked. The attackers were smart and patient, and they always came back. Soon the workers discovered something even more shocking. It wasn't just one lion. It was two male lions working together. They had no manes, which made them even more unusual. And they were extremely bold. They would jump over barriers and drag people away even in heavily guarded camps. Fear spread across the entire construction site. Some workers fled. Others refused to sleep at night. But the lions kept coming. The British officers finally decided they had to stop them. Hunting teams were formed, traps were set, and bait was used. But these lions were extremely intelligent. They avoided most traps and learned quickly. Finally, after months of terror, one of the lions was shot and killed. Then the second one was hunted down shortly after. The nightmare was finally over. But even after the lions were killed, the mystery remained. Many workers who survived the attacks never forgot what they had experienced. For months, fear had controlled every part of their lives. Every night they wondered if they would be the next victim. As news of the attack spread around the world, people became fascinated by the story. How could just two lions terrorize an entire construction camp? Researchers later searched for answers. One theory suggested that a disease had reduced the lions' normal prey, forcing them to hunt humans instead. Another theory claimed that the large railway camps made people easy targets. With hundreds of workers sleeping in tents every night, the lions may have simply learned that humans were easier to catch than wild animals. But no one knows the real reason. What made the story even more terrifying was how fearless the lions seemed to be. Fires, fences, and armed guards failed to stop them. Again and again, they returned to the camp. Some workers became convinced that the lions were not ordinary animals. Rumors spread that they were cursed spirits or supernatural creatures sent to punish those building the railway through the wilderness. Whether those stories were true or not, the fear was real. The attacks slowed construction, caused workers to flee, and nearly brought the entire railway project to a halt. More than a century later, the Tsavo lions remain one of the most famous man-eating predators in history. Their story inspired books, documentaries, and even movies. Scientists still debate how many people were actually killed. Some estimates suggest dozens, while others believe the number was much higher. But one thing is certain. For a brief period in 1898, two lions changed history. They turned a massive construction project into a nightmare and reminded everyone that nature can sometimes be far more dangerous than we imagine. And in the darkness of Tsavo, humans learned a lesson they would never forget. Sometimes the hunters become the hunted.